Hi, my name's Trev Hutchings, and this is Making Music in Virtual Reality. If, like me, you've got an Oculus Quest virtual reality headset, you might be interested to know that there's an app on the market called Virtuoso. It's a great little music making app that's completely free from the Oculus Apps Lab. Okay, so this is Virtuoso. If you look on the controllers, you'll see that next to the Y button and the B button, it says Open Dashboard. So if I press on the Y button, it brings up this little dashboard, and at the top here we've got some instruments, and just below that is this tool section, and we've got the looper. Now the looper we're going to use for recording our sounds. So I'm going to press the trigger button, and that opens up the looper. I'm going to move the loop. If I press the grip button while pointing at it, I can move it around wherever I like. So I'm just going to go and put that over there. Now the reason I'm putting that there is because I only want the pad. So if I press on the grip button again, pointing at the pad, I can move the pad over here. So I've just got the pad by itself. Now I'm going to press on the open dash again. So I'm going to press on the Y button, and then I'm going to open MPads. So I'm going to click on the trigger button on MPads, and it brings up this. And now we've got some pads. Now once again, I'm going to click on the grip button, and I'm going to move that over here. And then I'm going to click on the grip button again on the snare pad, and then I can drag the snare pad over to here. And then I can do the same with the bass drum pad, because they're the only two I'm going to use for this quick demo. And then I'm going to point at it with both my controllers, and I'm going to use both the grips, and I'm going to shrink it down in size, and then I'm going to pick it up with one of them and move it over here so it's out the way. And if you use both grips, you can actually twist it if you want to be pretty like that. Okay, so I've got these. I'm going to move these around here a little bit more. Okay, so now I've got my drum pads and I've got the looper pad. Now to start the looper pad, you just have to hit it, and you'll notice I've got these drumsticks here. So I'm going to hit it with the drumstick, and then I'll just play the pads. So here we go. Now it's waiting for a sound, so until I actually press on or hit one of the pads, it won't actually start the looper. So here we go. And I don't really like that. I haven't quite got that right. So here on the looper section, let's drag this up a little bit, you'll see I've got this pads here and I haven't really got it quite right. So I'm going to stop that playing by pressing on the stop button there. And then if I press on the bin thing here, I can delete that back out. And then I can do it again. So here we go. Now the important thing is that when you hit these, keep it in with the tempo, and then on the next beat, hit the looper again to turn it off. So there we have it. It's pretty much in sync, so I'm happy with that. We'll keep that, and you'll see now we've got this here under the looper, which shows the M pads playing. So now I'm going to pull up another instrument. So I'm going to go back to Y, and for this one I'm just going to show you the O organ. So I'm going to press on the trigger pad, and that brings up this character here, and with the grip I can move it about. And I like it a bit bigger than that, so I'm going to use both the grips, and I'm just going to expand it up a little bit in size. There we go. Now this is quite interesting because push in, it does nothing. But if you press the grip pad, or rather the grip trigger, when it's on one of the blocks, it'll play a note. And that note, if you then push back, will play the blocks going backwards. Now if you press the trigger instead, it plays sideways. And you can play both at once, so you can press both the grip and the trigger pads. And on that top of that, there's a third one, and that is if you press the thumb pad, which is the A or the X. I'm going to do the X here. So if I press on the X here, and this one goes up and down. So if I want to put something on, oh, and down here we've got this sound section, and below there the octave. So you can change the octave. In the sound section you can change the sound. So if I want to play that, I'm just going to move this over here slightly. So if I want to now add this one, say we'll go add that to it. So I'm just going to hit this now and then get my timing right. Hit it again, move back in now. Now the other interesting thing is you can actually turn this, and if you turn it to the left, or to the right, it will modify the sound. Now I've got that set on modulation. If I go back into preferences and turn that off, then turn him clockwise or to the right, turns the volume down, and then you turn to the left, kind of accentuates it. So that's quite good, but I'm going to show you quickly some other little bits and pieces before we move on. So I'm going to have a play here. There's a harp. Now you don't need the triggers for this, you just run your finger through it. And we got this board thing. Which is slightly different because when you press on that, it stays exactly where you put it. So you can play that and then go. So you kind of like, you can move from one note to another, whereas the other one kind of makes a slidey sound. This one kind of keeps it to the... It's quite nice. Then we've got this cluster. Then we've got this theremin type thing. You can use both hands for this. And on top of that, we've got a microphone. And you can sing and it doesn't really move a lot. But when you pick it up, you start singing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. And you can change the amount of reverb. 1, 2, oh yeah, yeah. Woo-hoo. So that's pretty cool. And that basically is it. You'll see here, because I've recorded the 2 tracks, I've got the M pads there and I've got the organ there. And I could add more. So I can do that, I can hit on this. So what I'm going to need to do for this one is I'm going to turn it into on here the loop lengths. I'm going to turn it to 4 and see how I go with that. So there we go. So that's running at a slightly different length to the others. And I can just add more. And if I want to stop it, I can press on the stop button there. I want to play it. Play button. And that is Virtuoso. If you've enjoyed this video, do give us a thumbs up and click on that subscribe button. Cheers.